So I was thinking about King Nebuchadnezzar. And so if I end up uploading this is part 2 to an offline video. Okay? And I'm talking about grace, and I'm talking about forgiveness here. And I'm talking about things that have been written down in our Greek language of what we would call scripture, and how there's all kinds of people who have broken all kinds of laws, spiritual laws, natural laws, physical laws, all kinds of stuff in that book. And how people have really had an awakening and have really come to the true light of a thing and looked at it for what it was and was set free. And anyway, go back to what I was talking about when I started this video. The other day, the divine had brought to my remembrance about Nebuchadnezzar, King Nebuchadnezzar. Now he can go back to looking over the city and said, it was in his pride, and he said, look what I've built. Looked over the whole city and look what I built. And the divine humbled that man. And I want to say it was for 7 years. I want to say that. I could be wrong. But he literally was so humbled that he was like an animal. I think it said that he had like the hair on him was like bird's feathers or something like that, and he had claws. His fingernails had grown out like claws. That's how low the divine humbled his pride. But after 7 years, or however many years it was, I really didn't want to say it was 7 years, he woke up from that and then gave the praise and the glory to the divine. Because you and I don't take any kind of credit for things that we find on the inside of us, or whatever we put our hand to. We get, we didn't create ourselves. Somebody say, oh, I enjoyed that. Say thank you. But, just like yesterday, I got on camera and stated that somebody emailed me and said something really nice to me. And I got on camera and gave all the praise to the divine, because I don't know how to do any of this unless the divine works through me. But the King Nebuchadnezzar, he took all of the praise and the glory for looking out upon the city that he built. He put together. Look what I did. I built this kingdom. He didn't have any power unless the divine gave him that power to do that. Okay? But anyway, the divine brought that to my attention the other day. And that's a really sobering thing to think that somebody of that stature within a country itself could be so low. And then the divine wake that person up and clean him back up and put him back in the position that he once had. Just to get his point across, I don't think so, little boy. You might be over this kingdom, but not without my approval, and not without me putting that stuff in you. And let's see how big and bad you really are. And he humbled him, but yet he woke him up. And if people can be woke, if God can do that to King Nebuchadnezzar and wake him up from an animalistic state, he can do that to anybody. Anything's possible. Sorry, I've been doing so many videos, and after a while, you kind of get tongue-tied. Hopefully this is making sense. So, the people who have really had a transformation and really have went through some hell and high water and murdering and things like that, and can find grace, then find grace. Walk in it. Face the truth. Don't run from it. Okay? If officials gave you an okay to do something, then how can anybody put somebody behind bars if you were the one who gave consent to that? then shouldn't the prisoners go free because really it was the officials that gave them the go-ahead to do something like that? They got found out and things, and instead of trying to cover something up, why don't we just face it and say, go free. Don't do it. Go and sin no more, I guess is what's trying to come through me. Go and sin no more, just like the Christ said. To the woman that was brought in front of everybody in the town for adultery, and the man could not be found. Where was the freaking man? That story gets me. And it says in that story that from the eldest to the youngest, they began to throw down their stones because they could not say that they themselves didn't have no sin in them. Throw the first stone. They couldn't. So if they couldn't throw the first stone at her, then they were just as guilty of having the same type of sin that she was standing before them. They themselves were adulterers. They themselves, if it was a murderer stayed in there, they wouldn't have been able to throw it either. They would have also been a murderer. Love is the highest vibration of them all. And for whatever reason why people do what they do, those people who don't have an awakening and can't get it under control and really cannot have a transformation, set them on trial. But those who really have come through the ringer and back and went through their Nebuchadnezzar high and mighty pride on their horses and look what I did, but then the divine took them to the pit and made them look like a wet bird with feathers and claws for hands and then had awakening, let them be set free. Be forgiven. Because I don't hold anybody captive on my end. I just want justice for those who won't let something go or won't give any kind of explanation of why I'm here. Because I've done nothing to get myself here. Nobody ever gave me any explanation of why I'm here. Okay? Why I was hunted like an animal because of their animalistic state. Because they were being humbled in some way. Did you wake up? It's time to wake up and have a transformation, people. Because I don't hold no charge to anyone. Except for the one who, like I said, want to be wicked. Then take the wicked in. Throw them behind the bars. Put them on trial. Because they've done lost their mind. But those who have had an awakening, like I said, go and sin no more and be free. Because that's what the divine tells you and me. Did we learn the lesson some way, somehow? What did we learn about ourselves through the trial itself? Just going through the situation. Did it make you better or did it make you bitter? Because it made me better. Even through bitter moments, it did make me better. Like I said, when we're tested, we either find out that we're of the devil, or we're passing the test and finding out that we really are the children of God. There is no condemnation who are in the true Christ. And that's love. It's not pointing the finger. It is teaching people how to find their own way in truth. In truth and in love. Anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you all. If it got uploaded, you watched it. If not, I know that my offline people watched it. Shalom.